But as you watch this, one, yes, you should give credit for Project Veritas, but two, you should understand this should be NBC News doing this. This should be CNN. The New York Times should have people embedded with these companies doing these things. This is what actual journalism looks like, and it shouldn't fall to one right-wing group.
Twitter does not ruin free speech.
What do you
Not
mean?
doing free speech. Capitalists, if we weren't really operating in a capitalist mode, we were very socialist. Like, we're all like communist.
Ideologically, it does not make sense, like, because we're actually censoring the right, not the left. Because everyone on the right wing will be like, bro, it's okay to say, you just gotta tolerate it. The left will be like, no, I'm not gonna tolerate it. I need it censored, or else I'm not gonna be impactful. So it does serve the right. It's true. There is a bias.
Like, I started working with Twitter and became left. I think it's just like the environment, like you're there and you become like calm.
Joining me now to talk about that and other things, the great Carol Markowitz, columnist with the New York Post. Carol, it does strike me as being wild. People look at these videos and they point it out, they're outraged, they say, yeah, I thought so, but they don't seem to make the connection. That's actually what every news organization would be doing if it was a news organization.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I also think, you often refer to people on the left as communists. And I think a lot of people think you're taking it too far. But here's this guy being like, yeah, we're a bunch of commies. Yeah, we all work at Twitter. We're a bunch of commies. And he says it multiple times and he doesn't seem to be joking. And they very openly, he's saying that they behave in a socialist manner, and it's really kind of jarring. You're absolutely right that this should be on the news. Okay, if they don't go conduct these kinds of stings, that's one thing. But once the sting has been conducted and once the news is out there, how does this not lead the broadcast news? It's all biased, and we all know it. And it's great that Project Veritas keeps exposing it.
Carol, can you explain that cognitive dissonance on the right about what you just mentioned when I say communist? As you mentioned, this guy's caught in the video saying he's a commie, but it's not like it's some kind of one-off. We have virtually every founder of Black Lives Matter on camera bragging about being trained Marxists. Antifa will wave hammer and sickle at their events. The climate change people are famously, openly against capitalism, proclaiming socialism. These people say they are, I say they are, and yet half of the right politician pundit class say, well, they're not really, Jesse, be nice. Why?
I've seen you get it. I really have. I normally, I'm always on your side, but I just feel like sometimes I'm like, oh, did Jesse go too far? And then it's like, no, he really didn't. They really are communists. I think it's that they're afraid to face what's happening. It's scary to imagine that your political foes self-identify as Marxists. Like, how could that be? We're America. We're Americans. We live in the greatest, freest country in the history of the world. How did we end up with a political class that self-identifies in this way? And yet it's true. We have to face it. In order to fight it, we must first face it.
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, Che Guevara, the latest episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.